Most police calls are boring. Paperwork, noise complaints, the occasional argument about parking. But every once in a while, a routine call turns into the kind of story officers tell for the rest of their career. Officer Patrick thought this call would be exactly that routine. A gas station clerk reported a woman acting suspicious, not robbing the place, not threatening anyone, just strange. And if you know anything about police work, strange usually means one of two things, either nothing or everything. Patrick arrived expecting awkward small talk and maybe a nervous customer who'd had too much coffee. Instead, the moment the woman noticed the patrol car pulling in, the entire situation exploded from calm to chaos in seconds. She froze, looked around, checked her trunk, then slammed it shut like someone trying to hide a secret the size of a refrigerator. And right there, Patrick felt it, that little alarm bell every experienced cop knows. Something wasn't right. But before he could approach her, two teenagers started harassing drivers at the pumps, so Patrick handled that first. Routine policing, rake up trouble, send the kids home. But while doing that, he kept watching the woman with the Audi. She kept checking her trunk, not casually, desperately. Then came the move that changed everything. Instead of walking into the store to pay for her fuel, she jumped in the car and drove off. Now Patrick had a problem. Was it a simple drive-off without paying, or something much bigger? He followed her calmly at first. No sirens, no lights, just observation. Because here's something most people don't realize. A bad police stop can cost an officer their job. So Patrick needed proof. He called the gas station, and within seconds the answer came back. She never paid. That alone justified the stop. But then Patrick's system pinged with a new alert. The Audi was stolen. Suddenly the calm drive turned into a full-scale pursuit. Patrick hit the gas and closed the distance, but the woman didn't panic. She didn't speed, she didn't run. She just drove like nothing was wrong. And that made it even stranger, because guilty people usually panic. But this woman, she looked like someone who had already accepted the outcome. Patrick pulled up close and finally activated the stop signal. For a moment, it looked like she might comply. Then she slammed the accelerator, and the chase was on. Cars swerved, engines roared, radio chatter filled the air as Patrick called for backup. Another officer cut across the opposite lane and boxed her in. The Audi had nowhere left to go. Finally, she pulled over. Patrick approached carefully, hand near his weapon. The woman stepped out slowly and raised her hands. No screaming, no fighting, just surrender. But Patrick knew the story wasn't over yet, because people don't run from police over gasoline money. Something else was in that car. The officers handcuffed her and began searching the vehicle. Patrick walked around the back of the Audi. Then he noticed something that made his stomach drop. Smoke, thin gray smoke, leaking from the trunk. He opened it, and the color drained from his face instantly. Inside the trunk wasn't luggage. It wasn't stolen electronics. It wasn't drugs. It was an entire arsenal of illegal weapons. Rifles, ammunition, explosive. Enough firepower to turn a quiet town into a war zone. Suddenly, the gas station call didn't look random anymore. Investigators later discovered the woman was connected to a large criminal organization. And if Patrick hadn't trusted his instincts that day, those weapons would have disappeared into the wrong hands. A simple gas station stop turned into one of the biggest arrests of Patrick's career. Proof that sometimes the smallest suspicions stop the biggest disasters. So next time you hear someone say, "It's probably nothing," remember this story. Because sometimes, nothing is exactly where everything begins. And if stories like this remind you that real life can be stranger than fiction, stick around. There are plenty more unbelievable stories coming your way.